The rise to the top of the game takes talent, drive, and strategy, but staying there, it's a different challenge. Some rappers climb the ladder of success to get to the top, only to sabotage their own momentum, whether through bad decisions, beef, or arrogance. Today we'll explore the stories of these artists, the moments they derailed their own careers. Hopefully we will learn from their mistakes. As Robert Greene said in the 48 Laws of Power, Law 18, do not build a fortress to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. In this cutthroat game of hip-hop, isolation, whether from fans, collaborators, or reality itself, can be a career killer. Now let's break it down. Shane Eagle is one of the most intriguing South African rappers. He rose to fame on a TV show, Vuzu Hustle, where he was top 4. He's the most successful rapper to come from that TV show, generating more buzz than the winner. Right after the competition, he was co-signed by JR. He released his debut single, Way Up, featuring the winner of the competition, Big Star Johnson. He took the independent route, establishing his own company, Eagle Entertainment, dropping his debut album, Yellow. Not so long after, he had a back and forth on Twitter with Scoop Makhathini. Right after that, when AKA was encouraging people to go independent regardless of getting signed, just operate, he felt the need to reply, and that response rubbed AKA the wrong way, leading him to rant on Twitter. Later on, he apologized, but that was a little bit too late because Shane dropped Gustavo addressing the situation on wax. That did not hurt his career at all, cause Yellow did good and Let It Flow went gold, even bagging a Summer Award for Best Hip Hop Album. He dropped The Never Grow Up, securing a feature with Boss, and those two albums solidified him as one of the best rappers in the game, being on a Big 3 conversation with Nasty C and Aries, but having the least exciting verse on that cypher kinda hurt his trajectory. Dropping Dark Moon Flower, another solid project, fans felt like it was more directed to the international audience, and Nasty C and Patrick Lee were the only local rappers featured on the album. He dropped Xanergy and Green, and those projects were not received very well, and that led to conversations of him being replaced by Blackie or Matlera, depending on who you're asking. That international approach clearly did not work because most of his best work comes from when he's collaborating with the local acts such as Pretty Ugly, Youngster CPT, and Kai. Even Big Star Johnson. Shane was still securing international gigs, securing a soundtrack on 2K, Apple interview with Ebro, getting production from Jalil Beats and J-Track. It did not look like Shane was trying to switch his approach. Then there was Vaughn departing with Eagle Entertainment, start his own record company, Stay Low. That kind of changed everything. Plus his in-house producer, Shooter Coombs, also stopped working with Shane Eagle. And the J. Cole comparisons also comes off as a compliment since he looks up to him, but that became a problem when he joined Love and Hip Hop. If you've listened to 1985, then you know what I'm talking about. The Big Hash being one of the few relevant rappers to come from the SoundCloud era. He was on the rise when he dropped Life in Times of a Teenage Influence and The Big Hash Theory, right after he had dropped out of high school. It's not 100% his fault, but I can say he's a victim of a circumstance when it comes to his career being derailed. Getting a co-sign from Ricky on a song like Dark Horse. In 2019, he was projected to be the next big thing, releasing his debut mixtape, Young, featuring already established rappers like Flame and Aries. The mixtape showcased his versatility, blending R&B, heartfelt melodies, and hard-hitting bars. Songs like Circles and Outcast deeply resonated with the fans, propelling him to the more mainstream audience. However, his journey had setbacks. In 2020, he experienced a highly publicized fallout with his record label, The Internet Wave, over contractual disputes. The legal battle disrupted his momentum, delaying his release for his sophomore project, The Heartbreak Hotel. The conflicts highlighted the struggles that many musicians face when dealing with record companies that exploit them. During this period, Hash voiced his frustrations and announcing his departure from the record label. Despite the setback, he showed remarkable resilience, dropping Aries, a precursor to The Heartbreak Hotel. Early this year, he finally dropped The Heartbreak Hotel, even though it had positive reception. Both projects were unable to replicate the numbers he did with Young, where a lot of doors were opened, securing a deal with Adidas. Plus, he went #1 on the New Wave Roundtable on MTV Base, freestyling for Sway on the Castle Light Unlock. Even though he has one of his biggest milestones, securing a soundtrack for FIFA, his career right now is nowhere close to where it was in 2019, when he was signed to Internet Wave. Frank Casino rose to fame when he was featured on a song by DJ Speedster, Mayo, and that created a buzz for people to pay attention to the music he had already dropped. People like Ricky Rick jumping on a remix for the whole thing. That Ricky Rick feature solidified him in the game, driving the prices up for Kappa, him being one of the reasons why Kappa is on the streets. He noticed, then gave him an endorsement, securing another endorsement deal with Castle Lights. Frank Casino was one of the people to watch out for. Being independent has its own advantages, such as being able to have access to your finances and having full control of your creativity. And the disadvantages being you have to be the one putting the work in and being hands-on with your career, unlike someone who's signed, who can only focus on being an artist. Being independent kinda stunted his growth, trying to navigate his career without no major labels. And venturing outside of music kinda made him to not prioritize his music. Plus, having a quality over quantity mindset in this day and age where music is pretty much dropped every day, I'd sway the fans' opinion to moving on to another artist if you are not consistent enough. Even a song like Sardin might have messed up his momentum, cause in this culture of hip-hop, biting someone else's lyrics is almost equivalent to committing a crime. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, Frank Casino dropped a song. It has a chorus that almost sounds identical to Moneybagg Yo's All of a Sudden. He took a hiatus, and that led to speculations thinking that he has retired, rolling out his single Fast Life the Kendrick Lamar way. Then he dropped an album on the same day as 25K and Tony Diamond, which overshadowed his own album. That's why I feel like Frank Casino killed his own hype. And there you have it, rappers who kill their own momentum and the lessons their stories teach us about staying on top of the rap game. Success is not just about dropping hit records, it's just about understanding timing, relationships, and the way perception shapes reality. In my opinion, I prefer an artist who doesn't saturate their music, who constantly staying in the public eye, making them too accessible. Less is more sometimes. When you pull back and make yourself scarce, people will miss you. They will crave your music. The mystery about leaving people wanting more, it creates a balance, and a powerful one, which was not the case with these artists. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you.